Alright guys, if you hear anything in the background, it's not thunder this time. It's probably Taylor Swift's fireworks going off. She's having a concert in Pittsburgh tonight. So at the very least, I now get to put Taylor Swift in the description box. This is going to be my Three Rivers Comic-Con haul. I've gone to this show every year since its beginning. I've always enjoyed it. We'll get to that after our Two from the Tomb. So as I was going through all these boxes at the con, I was realizing something. You know, it's so superhero heavy that stuff sells, you know, it does. But I'm thinking that as I'm going through my collection again, where I want to prioritize most of my collection, which is Batman. I'm trying to collect the last couple issues that I need. But I also want to prioritize erotic comics. I figured I'm probably going to, after I take my little break through the summer, when I come back, probably going to more or less focus on getting more erotic books. They're a little bit harder to find. I have to order some of them through the websites, but I'm going to try a couple different things and see what happens. But first off, book I'm showing is the probably one of the first books of the erotic comic book line. Those that don't know what erotic is, it's Glenn Danzig's comic book line, and people who follow this channel know that I'm a huge fan of that band and Glenn himself and his comics. I'll probably go down that path of trying to complete the whole, including variants, get every single issue that was ever made from the erotic comic book line. So we got a great Simon Bisley cover on this one here. This one I bought a few years ago. I bought it online, I believe. It was part of a package deal. It was actually signed by Glenn, but you can see where it got smudged. And if you see right there, you can see a little bit of the where I guess they signed the book, and boom. But this gives you a little yeah, I'm glad I mentioned Taylor Swift and then showed this book. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I definitely am gonna focus more on erotic comics, so stay tuned if you're into this kind of material. Figured I'd pull out another one for the Tomb as I was going through my erotic collection, and I pulled out the Dark Horror Morella, one of my favorite characters of this lineup. Just thinking, I might have to blur some of that stuff out if I put Taylor Swift now. I'm just messing. Morella is one of my favorite characters of this whole line, so I'd like to get some original art of her also, but yeah, that's definitely going to be my goal. This is a Jason Blood cover, if you're wondering. Tim Vigil did a story in here, so if you're into those outlaw comics or whatever, that might be one you want to pick up. Yeah, but that was a bummer, because I opened it, I was like so happy when I saw that. I was like, oh man, it's signed. Then it was smudged, but yeah, what are you going to do? So, Three Rivers Comic Con. Have gone to the show since the beginning. A lot of stuff had happening downtown Pittsburgh at that time. There was like a Pride Parade, so there was a lot of stuff going on. The art festival around here was going on, and what ended up happening is it swayed people from not showing up early, because it was pretty late in there. I mean, I had a lot of elbow room for a big convention. I left around 3 o'clock, and then I was sitting in traffic for like an hour. And plus, I think Philadelphia was having their Comic-Con too, so people were just making decisions. But the first thing I'm going to show is the books I got signed. I've met most of the artists that were there multiple times, so I wasn't really trying to get anything done this year. I was debating whether to get Daryl Banks to get a sketch off of him again, but I was like, I I already have the Green Lantern, so I'm cool with that. But I got to meet Robert Hack, talk to him for a couple minutes, and I got his autograph right there. This is Red Sonja, Vampirella, meet Betty and Veronica. The reason why I picked this up off his table is because it had that. This is not actually cut. The cover's not cut. It's actually part of the cover. So I thought that was so cool when I saw that. I was like, oh, I have to get that. If I can open the damn thing. But yeah, you can see it's just like part of the cover. We were talking about how, you know, we've all had owned comics like this, like with cutting with the titles off. I believe they used to have to do that off the newsstand because to get reimbursed for not selling off the rack. But yeah, he's a cool guy if you ever get a chance to meet him. But he was nice enough to autograph this one for me. I got so much stuff by him. I got art by him. I'll show in another video at some point. Next up, I got to meet one of my all-time favorites, the creator of Mr. Monster himself, Michael T. Gilbert. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. His wife is a real sweetheart also. But I didn't own this book, so I bought it off him. And he was nice enough to autograph. He still autographs his stuff on the inside, which is pretty cool to me. I mean, it doesn't bother me where it's signed. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, I never read this before, so it was pretty awesome to find something new from Mr. Monster. I think it's been out for quite a bit, though. Let me see. He signed it. Like, nope. Yeah, at least you get to look through it with me. There it is, right there. But yeah, Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, Keith Giffen also contributed to this book. But the real cool thing I bought is I asked him to do a Mr. Monster sketch for me. I bought a pre-made one before, something he did, but this one was basically made for me. So, and it's all in pencils, so that makes it even so much more awesome. Just an honor to get this thing. I want to get these framed. I need to, because I got it in this big plastic holder. So with all my other stuff, but yeah, I want to start displaying some of this stuff. I got enough art to show off that I don't never show off. And the last one, usually during the con, at Pittsburgh Comic Con, I'll find like an independent artist, a local guy, somebody like that. I was walking by and I was wearing a Veronica t-shirt, movie t-shirt, and the guy mentioned like, hey, that was a cool shirt, so I stopped at his booth and looked around. Ended up picking up this. Memoirs of the Morbid. He was nice enough to sign it for me. If you want to look at his stuff here. But it's Comicsburg. I think you can zap at or whatever if you want to pause it. But yeah, it's like an anthology. Think Tales from the Crypt and all that. But I like trying to find one artist or one writer or something. So you can take a look inside here. He does, the guy that signed this book here, he does all this stuff right here. All the but I thought the stories were pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. Thought this trench coat story was pretty cool. It's like literally reading a book. Reading a comic that's actually just happened on the last page. So. But yeah, like all the black and white in it. But yeah, Comicsburg. Gotta support the hometown team. Support the local guys. That there. those are the only books that I got signed. They're autographed. A lot of the artists that I've known for years were all charging money. Usually I try to at least get one book signed, buy them a year, but I just, as soon as I started seeing $5 price tags and stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But all that stuff cost me, it was $10 for the local book, $35 for the sketch, and $10 for the Mr. Monster book. Then I also paid $5 for the Robert Hack Vampirella / everybody else book. So I had my wallet didn't take a beating that day. I thought I was gonna be done, and believe it or not, I don't think I spent more than $25 on the rest of these books. Like, these were all dollar books, so I picked up Forever People with some Jack Kirby art. So I mean, if you can find pretty decent looking Jack Kirby books, especially his DC stuff, for $1, man, just pick that shit up. But this is issue number 9. 10. And 11. Let's crack one of these open and take a quick look. Yeah, when I saw these, I couldn't believe it was for $1. So that's what I always liked about, it's almost a disappointment when you buy a comic written or drawn by Jack Kirby and you don't flip that page and see that big giant splash page. It's almost like going to a Leonard Skinner concert and them not singing Freebird, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I love his Mr. Miracle stuff. It's probably one of my favorite things that Jack Kirby did. I know a lot of people love his Marvel stuff, but I love his DC Fourth World stuff. I think his art style always fit that. I think it's the stuff he was like meant to draw. I mean, don't get me wrong, his superhero stuff and all that, probably some of my favorites. But for $1, can't beat that. Also picked up for $1 Marvel Tales issue number 138. I've been trying to piece together the Marvel Tales, like first 20 issues of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, because more likely I'll never own those books. Who the hell am I kidding? I'll probably never own the first 100. I own or under the first 50 that are in any sort of decent condition. But I ended up picking up 138. This is pretty beat up. Got like a spine ticks, as much as you can imagine. But for $1, I decided to get it just to be a placeholder. I didn't see the issue 137, which is the reprinting of Amazing Fantasy 15, but this will do. I got so many reprints of this and trades and all that. It's not really a big deal, but I just wanted it out of my way for my Marvel Tales run that I'm trying to put together. Next up is Aquaman issue number 56, and I'm freaking pumped that I got this. This has been a book I've been looking for a while, and to find it for $1, I could not. I was like beside myself. This book goes with I guess sort of it connects storylines with Namor the Submariner from Marvel, so it's like a sort of a crossover type book about this creature that gets blasted into space. But I'm waiting for the other until I can find the other issue. I believe I can't remember what issue it is. It's I think 47 or something. Maybe I'll put it down below. But I have it written down in my notebook, but I just can't remember what the hell it is. But this one was written in my notebook for the longest time, and to find it for $1, granted, it's not anywhere near mint condition or anything like that. Before I send it off to CGC, I might want to get it pressed. But yeah, it's got more waves in the ocean going on here, man. It's like, I think Aquaman took this book down and read it down there in the ocean. But yeah, if I was ever to try a pressing or whatever, this would probably be this would be a top contender, because I mean, yeah, it's got some nice rust on the staple. So I'm not sure if this is showing up in here. Let me see if I can get this closer. But whenever you have rust on your books, oops, let's take this off. Let's zoom in here. Let's see. But you see how it's going right there, how it's discolored around there. That's the reason why anytime you get a rusty staple type book, if you're like looking for high grade books or whatever, and then you see a rusty staple, man, you gotta yeah, there you go. You gotta run as far away as possible. But if you're like just want it for reading or just to have in your collection, $1, you can't pass that up. The other thing you want to do too is definitely check for mold and stuff like that, because if it has a rusty staple, and some kid may have taken it by the pole in 1962 or 60. No, it's not 62. When did this come out? 1972, I should say. Got splashed on by somebody doing a cannonball. Yeah, but I've had a few books that had mold when I got home, and I threw those sons of bitches right out, man. I should have burned them with fire, but don't ever put any of that kind of crap in your collection either. That's why you should always, if you don't read your books, at least crack them open. This was funny. So in that Marvel Tales book that I picked up, I didn't realize it at the time, but this book was shoved in there. Spider-Man, Storm, and Power Man against the villain Smokescreen. Yeah, that's right. This is like one of those anti-smoking comics. Yeah. If you watched the last week's video, you got to see a supervillain abusing cocaine. Back in the 40s and 50s, it was marijuana. In the 70s, it was cigarettes. In the 80s, or no, mid 90s. Skip the decade because they're too busy worrying about cocaine and all that stuff. But yeah, for free, I figured out what the hell. I guess it was one of those free things that came with. They put at convenience stores to keep kids from smoking. Also picked up a copy of Aliens, Dark Horse. This is a second printing, so I wanted to get it for my collection. Still on the hunt for a first printing. I got a second and a third print now. Not exactly sure how many prints. I think there might have been possibly 5 or 6. But got number 2 out of the way. In the last book of day 1, I ended up picking up a book that I needed for a long time. This is the book I paid the most for, and I paid $7 for it. It's Wolverine issue number 4 of the miniseries. Glad to have it in my collection. I'm finally completed with my Wolverine Frank Miller run, single issues. Yeah, it's in pretty decent condition. It got a little roll on it. You can see, like it's whoever was reading it rolled it up. But I mean, other than that, that could be fixed pretty easily. No rusty staples. Look, Ma. So that was day 1 of my Three Rivers Comic-Con experience. So I had a good day. Like I said, not crowded at all. There was a lot of stuff going on downtown. downtown. And it was just in a run of the mill. Nothing really crazy happening. Nothing really, like blowing my mind, but a good solid con. Guy had everything that you wanted. If somebody was coming with you to just look at stuff or like knickknacks, and it had everything. So it had everybody segregated. So all comics were together, all toys were together, all knickknacks and all that stuff. So you weren't like running around the place looking for everything. If you wanted comics, you know exactly where to go. But let's get to day two. So day two, I showed up when the doors opened, and it was even less crowded than the day before, which was I was like, okay, this ain't good. uh, well, I'm walking around, looking around a little bit, talking to the people I know, the dealers I know, and then I mean, I hate to say it, but it seemed like not a lot of people were happy or thrilled. It was a somber tone almost. It was blowing my mind. I was like we got this great con, we got this great location and stuff, and it is like so I'm not sure what's going on, how that this anecdotal might be that observation that I'm about to make, but I'm not sure if comics are in for a big rude awakening here. I sort of said it like a year and a half ago that it was coming because the writing was on the wall with all the people like just getting burnt out on superhero movies, and it was superhero heavy there. You know me, I ended up finding a couple of things that weren't superhero related. But I found a guy that was selling these originally for $2 a pop. Yet the day before, was now marked down to $1. So I figured, I'm gonna fill my Vampirella collection in. Make sure I get all the Vampirella covers that I needed for that Perella did the art on. So this is issue number 14. And I'll find a copy of issue 18. Issue 20. Like, I really enjoy Perilla's work on Vampirella. Some other things that's hit or miss for me, but his art style on Vampirella just made me want to buy these issues even more. And I thought the Priest run was pretty damn good. Issue 23. So I'm missing not too many of the issues that Vampirella did for Vampirella did for Vampirella. So I'll be happy when I finally just complete that little run I'm trying to collect. So issue number 24. And issue number 25. So when I do my little thumbnail, I'm trying to decide which cover I'm going to have in the center. Maybe this one, or let's see. Or this one. One of these two are going to make it in the center here. Which one would you pick? Put it down, make a comment down below. So we got 14, 18, 20, 24, 25, 23. You're out of order. There you go. Yeah, let me know which cover you would have went with. But yeah, I think I'm only like 3 or 4 issues away from collecting, getting all the Perillo covers. I'm not looking for the Virgin and all that stuff. I'd rather have the trade dress on it, to be honest with you, because I'm a little done with Virgin covers. So those were $1 a piece. Then I went to another stand that I ended up picking up a couple more dollar books from, and I ended up getting another copy of the Spectre with the main man himself, Martin fucking Imond. So this is my second copy of this book. And the second, speaking of Verotic, connection here. Got Simon Bisley doing issue number 27. Learned about this through Riggs. He had shown a run of the Spectre, and I had to find that book, so I finally found it, and I got it for $1, so I was like pretty happy about it. But yeah, nobody beats the Biz here, man. He's one of the greats. But for $1, yeah, I'm happy with both of these. You're seeing a theme here. I'm not spending a whole heck of a lot of money. Next up, I picked up a Harley book. I've been trying to. I got like the first. Well, I'm missing issue number 1, but I got like pretty close to having the first 10 issues of this run. But this one had the Riddler in it. He had quite a few other ones. I just wasn't trying to buy anything over issue number 10. But I like this one because it has Riddler on the cover. Take a quick look inside here. But I enjoy Harley Quinn. I like this version of her, and I like the first New 52 version of her. The modern stuff I really don't care for. It's tiring. She makes me tired. But yeah, I love that. Always loved that costume. Also picked up, these were all 20% off, so I paid $4 for this one. I paid, I guess what it would be, $2.40 for this one. It's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 226. With a black cat cover on the cover. A black cat cover. But I like the downward look on that. It's pretty cool. Ended up picking this up for $1. It doesn't have a back cover. I just really like this for the cover. I like the way it looks also. So it's basically for a display purpose for me. So it's Our Army at War issue number 157. Sergeant Rock, but it's a Joe Kubert cover. I'm just gonna. This is gonna be display. I just really love this. I like even the way it looks like it's all destroyed and stuff around there, because the cover is like hanging on by like a thread. But like I said, no back cover. It's no value at all or anything. I just wanted it for just for display, because I just think it's really just a cool cover. I'd like to get a nicer copy of it, but I'm in no hurry. Yeah, it's just badass. So day 2, the big book that I bought, I spent a whopping $6 on it, or no, maybe it was $7. It was a Marvel Tales book. I ended up picking up issue number 12, Marvel Tales. Basically, I just bought it for the cover. I think I have the storyline, and I can't remember what issue we covered. I believe it's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 18. I'm not 100% sure. And there's a couple other tales in here also, you can see. But I just thought this was really a cool looking cover. Is it Ramita and Ditko that worked on it, possibly? But for a square bound book from that year, because it's got like a ton of pages, and it's not like really decent condition, and I paid $7 for it. But that was my haul. I mean, I don't think I spent more than $100 there, and I usually drop when I go to these cons and stuff. Over at least it's not a good day for me unless I spend like close to 300. And I walked out of there with buying. There was stuff that I wanted to buy, and I was just like I was like, and just on the fence on a lot of things. And usually I'd just buy it if I was just semi interested in it. But now I'm being very picky in the stuff that I buy. Not necessarily conditioned, obviously, with like books like this. But like I said, it's not really for my collection. It's more for display. But I'm a little worried for some of the dealers that man, because like I said, it was a somber tone when I went in there on Sunday, and I left at like noon. So I was only there for like 2 hours, and I was like, I'm out, man, because this is getting freaking depressing. I mean, it's a great show, great location, but it just like I'm not sure if people are just don't have the money to spend. Um, People are just moving on from this hobby, moving to video games, which is very well could happen. It seems like a lot of video game places and stuff are all doing fine, but this hobby might be not long for this world if you're collecting for money. But anyways, enough of that. Final part of the video, we're going to do last week's books this week. So I've been trying to piece together Batman Deadly Duo. I should have been collecting it from the beginning, but I couldn't find book 2. I'm looking for all cover A's. They're just getting a little bit harder than it should be for me around here, but it seems like word of mouth about this series got around, and it's seems like a lot of the back issues are selling off the shelf at like pretty decent cover price. I mean, instead of you find them in the dollar bins. But Mark Silvestri did the story and art in his books. If you get a chance to pick it up, I mean, it's probably one of the better Batman stories. But I couldn't find issue number 2, the cover A, so I went with the Kelly Jones, which is the next best thing. I believe it's a connecting cover, but I'm not gonna. If I don't find the other one, I'm not really worried about it. I guess there's a Joker one, and smash them together. But speaking of Batman, I picked up for my pull list Batman issue 136. Looks like it's a start of a new story arc. Hopefully, it's not revisiting Tom King's Catwoman and Batman. We also got Spawn issue number 342. I think that cover's pretty cool looking, man. And of course, probably my favorite thing on my pull list is Gunslinger Spawn. Look at a man coming smashing through that church window, guns ablazing. But I mean, yeah, if you gotta pick one of the books, the Spawn books, pick up Gunslinger. I mean, the art's better, the story's a lot better. But thanks again for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. Check out the links down below. I think I got 2 more vids worth of material. Then I'm probably gonna take a couple weeks off, but I'll have videos going every week. But I won't be buying anything. I'm more or less trying to get my collection, pulling books out that I want to get rid of. So I'll probably end up letting people know if they want to trade for anything. Let some of you guys have first crack at it if you want to try to trade. But yeah, check out the channels down below. Click on my Instagram. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.